saying something about getting
You need the ability to
to lead, manipulate, things like that. Yes.
Connection.
Yes, ideally what the frame really is basically our home. It's our house within the dance. When I have Chooi in an embrace like this, see how her arms are around me, my arms are around her, so we are both kind of encapsulated. Our torso, our body is within this confine here. So we want to make this, we want to kind of nest this room. We want this to be as comfortable and cozy as possible when we're dancing. So, applying what we just focused on, we just learned about the posture and the alignment, we're going to apply that to a frame. So, everybody hold your arms out like so, kind of like you're holding a beach ball or you're lifting up water here. Okay? Now notice the shape. Open up your chest. Open up your chest. Relax your shoulders. Open your elbows, but make sure that you kind of have the elbows slightly pointing downward. We don't want this. We want the elbows to be relaxed. Holding this position. Okay? Opening from the chest, lifting from the solar plexus. Okay? It's looking good. Now watch this. If Chooi comes over here, I'm going to go into, from here, I'm going to go into a practice embrace. And now I'm going to go into an open embrace. And now into a closed embrace. How much of the shape of the frame did you see change through that whole process? Very little. Yeah, just a little bit of rising here, a little bit of coming behind here. That's it. So, a practice technique for you all to work on at home is just to hold your arms like this and make sure you're standing nice and tall. Open. See yourself in the mirror. Align. Good posture. Because this is exactly what we're going to practice in the dance. Here. Okay. All right.
One thing I have to say is when you stretch this up, sometimes you have the tendency to raise this, so make sure this is down. And also make sure it's out. You don't want it to come in, because sometimes when you go into embrace, people tend to kind of come in a little bit. So this is the point that you want to make sure. Make sure it's out and down, whereas this is up.
Good. Okay. So now let's go on ahead and get into the actual dancing component. Before we get into any embrace, we want to make sure that we're standing in front of each other the way that we want to dance. We never want to go into the embrace like this. Okay? When I walk onto the floor, immediately when I say Chooi, when I ask her to dance and she agrees, from the moment I'm standing up, I'm already dancing. So I want to carry myself to the floor with the posture, and then go into my embrace. In this case, we'll do an open embrace. Okay? So go on ahead and grab a partner. How are we doing with the balance? Oh, not too bad. Okay, so with the embrace here, now again, before you go into any embrace, just stand in front of each other and make sure that you're lifted and that you have a good square position to your partner. Then what you're going to do is do exactly this. Just open your arms first. Open your arms. So the lady's arms are going to be above the leader's arms. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my right hand and I'm just going to put it behind her shoulder blade slightly. And then I'm going to lift my left hand to offer her to put it into mine. Okay? Now, from this position, make sure, as a leader and a follower, you're always lifting your arms. Lifting, not from the shoulders, just lifting the arms. We never want to be heavy in the arms, so lift here. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take a side step. So I'm going to do a couple balanceo and go side. Okay, and side the other way. Good. Balanceo and side. And side the other way. Okay, good. Now, for this, what we're using here, what we're using here. Oh, okay. Balanceo. What does it sound like? What does balanceo sound like in English? Balance, exactly. So balanceo literally just means to balance your weight on one foot or the other, or in our case, just shifting weight with your partner. Okay? So, what we have here, when I'm in this embrace, is what I call physical connection. This is it. This is the end of the story of physical connection. What does that mean? Once I have this, I want this to pretty much be consistent, unchanging, almost constant. Okay? I don't want to use my arms or to push or to pull. I want to just have a very steady and simple frame. So, if I want this to be constant, then what is going to be constantly changing? Because obviously, when we dance, there's a lot of change. So what do I want to change? I'm going to change my energy. I'm going to change the way that I project, the way that I move. And in that case, the way that I do this is with what I call non-physical energy, non-physical connection. So, an example, watch this. I'm going to just leave my hand up like this. You see? Without this. See that? That's enough to get Chooi going. Watch. Sorry, she wasn't ready for that second step. Anyway, you get the idea. The point is that I don't need physical connection to lead. She can watch me and follow me with her eyes. She can see my directions. Okay. So what we want to do now is we're going to do exactly this exercise. You're going to from parallel from your partner, and you're going to follow me with your eyes. And you follow my lead. And pay close attention. And we're just going to step together and step together. Okay? Without touching. Good. Good, good. Yeah, I got close. I was making sure. Okay, good. Okay, try it. We never say. Okay, I like to. Okay, so now what we have going on right now is looking good. Ladies, what are you relying on right now to lead or to follow? Not your leader. What are you relying on to follow? What? Yes, but what are you using to
Eyes.
your eyes? Yes. So in salon style dancing, the followers are not allowed to close their eyes. Okay? In milonga style, where the follower puts her head over here and just nods off to sleep, that's fine. But in this style of dance, the follower is very important. She needs to engage us as leaders. She needs to be a part of the dance. I'm not a chauffeur. Okay? I want her to actively engage me. So, in this case, by doing this exercise, it's really both making you be aware of your leader's movements. So guess what, leaders? What does that mean for you guys? It means that you have to be very clear with all of your movements. You need to be able to project your step before you move, you see? So, when I'm moving, what is the first cue that I'm going to give Chooi without touching her that I'm about to move?
It's like contrary motion.
There's a little bit of contra motion in the chest, yes, but there's one thing that's far more obvious.
That's why I said 7.
There you go. Yes, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes, settling. That little flexion there. This flexion is projection. Because what it does is it puts me further into the floor for two purposes. Number one, it gives me more stability to jump off of as I'm going to push off of to go into my next step. So I'm here, and the other thing that this does too is that it readies my follower. She can feel that, she can see that. So when she feels that, she's prepared knowing that something is about to happen. She doesn't know what's going to happen, but she knows something is about to happen, so she better be prepared. This is not good. Okay? What am I not doing? I'm not telegraphing my steps. That's not good. So, what I'm going to do, using my knees, slight flexion. That. You see that? Boom. She goes into a ready position. She's ready to pounce. Whoa. All right. So,
Thanks for the warning.
yeah. us, some of us, not all of us? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the followers go on this side behind Chooi. We're going to have the leaders go over here behind me. So followers behind Chooi, leaders behind me. Follower. If you're a leader, then you're a leader. You're over here. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is remember 8-count basic. How many steps on the 8-count basic? 8. So that's all that you have to remember. If you can remember 8 steps, you're in good business. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with the first 5 steps. So ladies, let's have you come forward a little bit so that you'll have room to move back. Okay. So we're gonna start. Leaders, if you're not familiar with the step, just follow along. We're going to do this several times. Okay? Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. 4. 5. Okay, again. A little bit faster. Just follow along. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Ready? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Are there any questions with the steps up to here?
When you're stepping on 4, isn't there a bit of fork?
There is.
Okay.
However, the more experience and the more precise your lead becomes, the less you need of this contra body. So in this case, if I'm going to lead Chooi to do this step, and I go 1, 2, I'm going to start with my contra body after step 2, 3. You see, I do have it, but I don't need to exaggerate. Just some. 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right.
Okay, when we do step 1 to 5, we actually don't change it until the 5th step. When you come together, step 5, then here by default you change it unless if the leader hold you up, then you don't change it. But this step by default you do want to change it. When you come to 5, change mate, then you go to 6, 7, 8. So that's the resolution. So I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the term, you do side step, you go salida, and then this is outside partner, 3rd, 4th, 5th, then 5th you cross,
And we're pausing
change
right-
rate,
pausing right
and
there.
then you do the resolution 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So let's go ahead and try the whole thing now. So after the cross, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're here.
So
Now,
this is where the follower change rate down here.
and the leader changes weight too. So now I'm going to step out with my left foot. 6, 7, 8. Okay? Again. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So for one, I'm going to demonstrate one time the most important part of this step, which is step 3. 1, 2, 3. You see where I'm stepping, gentlemen? I'm stepping on the outside of her foot as opposed to the inside. Now I'm going to stay towards this left side. I don't want to walk back in front of her. I'm going to stay on the left. Here, here, and I'm going to allow her to step in front of me instead of me in front of her. Otherwise, she won't cross. I want her to cross. Then I will just finish up 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's go ahead and grab a partner. Okay. Let's have you go into line of dance. So let's have you all spread out a little bit. With the partner, line of dance. We have plenty of room. I'm taking up some good room over here. Okay. I will go ahead and count you off, and we will do all of the 8 steps. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's go ahead and collect ourselves. Make sure we're in a good position. We'll do the exact same thing again. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you guys are doing well. You guys are doing too well. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to apply the non-physical technique exercise. We are going to lead into 5 without using an embrace. But, followers, you know how to do this step. So what is the point here? Make sure you're following him and don't get ahead of him and don't fall behind. We'll even do this with a little bit of distance between us. Watch this. It works. Okay, let's try it. Ready? Without an embrace, now be very leaders. You have to really watch out for your followers. They're walking backwards, they cannot see behind themselves. Okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm not going to count. I will start you off with 1 and 2, and then you do the rest. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Good. Now, your own personal practice, go ahead. We'll come around and look. embrace, and now lead just one basic in the embrace, and feel the difference. Okay, go ahead. In the embrace, lead one basic. Good. Now, how does it feel now compared to before? Feels easier. It should feel easier. It should feel lighter. It should feel that both parties are taking more responsibility of their own technique.
But what we did before, actually it gives you more awareness. So you feel more connected to your each other, especially for the followers. Sometimes you tend to kind of go a little ahead of them. So now you kind of, it makes you wait. So it's a really good exercise. One thing, when you get into the embrace, be careful with your hand. I mean, I see some of you, you open up your hand like that. You do want to kind of close it, not too tight, but close it. And you want it to be straight line here and here.
You want your wrist and your forearm to have the same line.
Because I know some people do embrace like that.
It's no good.
But actually, we kind of like it.
It's just bad for the wrist itself. Okay. So, what we're going to go ahead and do now is, first of all, let's go ahead and rotate if we did. Did we already rotate? Yeah, we rotate. Leaders are rotating down the line edges. Okay? Good. Now, so we have the 8-count basic now. We have that. We learned a few things about the lead, definitely. Any slight hesitation, leaders, is going to get a response from your follower. No matter how quick it is, a little twitch is going to make your follower do something like that. You don't want any business like that. So make sure that when you make a movement, when you take a step, that you are deliberate about each one of your steps. It's just one time off. That's it, and you go. Commit to your steps. Okay? Now, we go into the embrace. Yeah, we're just working the open embrace. So we're going to go to 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaders, look at my right foot. See how it's kind of trailing? Now, I'm going to put her to a couple more ochos. Okay? So, leading the foot behind, it is a functional aesthetic technique. It will help later on when you start working in close embrace. It's very important for close embrace. But for now, it just looks kind of cool because we create a line for ourselves. So it's not just bringing things together and rotating. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 5, and then I'm going to rotate my follower to start walking into the clockwise direction.
And follower, when we get to 5, we don't want to rotate by ourselves. We do want to wait for the lead.
Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rotate. And we'll just get here and pause for a moment. Okay? So let's go ahead with our partners. So, up to 5 and rotate. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rotate. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. It's going to be this way. So leaders, you're going to turn the follower this way. Okay? Yes. To face, counterclockwise for her to face the clockwise direction. Okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rotate. Rotate. So you're here. So hold your finger. You're just going to turn her that way. Yeah. Cool. Got it. All right. We're good. So now a couple technique things for the followers in particular.
basically, when we go to a cross,
Okay, one second. Sorry.
so this is our cross, and when I feel him leading me, I unwind. So basically from here again, I don't want to fly my leg, to unwind. I just it's just a small circle. I just feel that rotation, unwind, and bring my feet together. That way. And basically, my standing feet, I'm like putting the whole foot on the floor. And these feet, when I come, I can kind of turn up this way. And my ankle together, but my toe open up a little bit. So you want this position. Okay?
Okay, now,
The main message you're sending for that rotation is happening is just,
it's a slight rotation in the frame. So, what I'm doing here, leaders, for me to rotate the follower is after I go, so say I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember we were talking about that contra body. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use that contra body and I'm going to rotate it in the opposite direction while maintaining my frame in the same shape. I don't want to manipulate like this, rather just a little bit. It's like power steering. A little bit goes a long way with the followers. She's going to feel it and she's going to interpret it down here where she's going to use the hip to come around. So she hits the cross, I give her that rotation, boom, she's here. So just a little bit. Okay?
Kenny?
Yes.
Would you please clarify, are you inviting the follower to go into fifth cross at 3? And 3 is when I see you doing your contra body move.
Yes, on 2, I'm already doing contra body. And anytime I step outside of my follower, I should always use contra body, whether or not I'm going to go into the cross. Just because at that point our positions are staggered. I need to maintain my connection, therefore I need to kind of rotate my intention towards her.
So where does the invitation to the cross come?
The invitation to cross is going to be on 4. And the key here is that when you want her to cross, make sure to stay to the left side. Stay left. And as long as you do that, then she will be much more likely to cross. Experience followers cross every time. Watch. If I step back in front of her, this is what's going to happen. We walk. So, if I want her to cross, again, I just stay to the left. Here. I'm going to stay this way. Stay on these tracks over here. And then she'll cross.
And there's one thing, I'm not sure whether any one of you have problem leading the cross. One of the key things, Kenny would take a bigger step than me on the second step. You see, he's like a lot wider than me, okay? And a little contra body, and then the cross will be really big. And of course, the rotation is when he rotates his chest, so that will make him rotate.
And we go. Okay, let's go and try this again. Ready? Salida? Oh, excuse me. Let's start with 1. I'm sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rotate and pause. Now, this is looking better. So, what we're going to do now, after we get to the rotation, so you have the rotation, is, leaders, that leg that we have trailing behind us, we're going to pass it behind ourselves and we're going to step to our right with the follower, rotate in the opposite direction, step with it to the left with our follower, and just carry on with the resolution.
Don't forget to say,
Oh, Joseph. Yeah, really. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate and pause for a moment. Now, leaders, step right with your follower. Go. With, rotate her, pause. Step left with your follower. Rotate, pause, and you can do one more time, I guess. Okay?
follower, we try to connect to the guy, our chest is here. We don't want to turn here. We don't want to turn a block, right? So our chest is here, so we rotate our hip more than our chest. If we rotate our chest like 25%, we rotate here 50%. So, and then he will lead us forward. Same thing here. I try to connect my chest with him and rotate my hip more.
At this moment here for the leaders, I'm going to square up the follower to be back in a parallel position, and then I just resolve. So that's how you get out. For now, every time you want to get out of forward ochos, you're going to do it from the left side. So when you take your left step, square up, and then it will make it to where you go right back to where you started. If you try to square up on the right, things can kind of happen that are funny. Okay, let's go ahead and first of all, let's have leaders rotate. Okay. Okay. Let us go ahead and try this again. Ready? With your partners in the embrace. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Rotation. And step with your follower. Rotate. Step with your follower. Square up. And exit. 6, 7, 8.
Okay, before we put the music on, there's one thing I want to say. When after the cross, when the leader rotate me, leader just rotate and give us a slight pause before you lead us forward. Because sometimes what I saw is, from across, if you don't give a slight pause, sometimes I see that the follower didn't have time to collect. So you give that little pause, and then rotate, little pause, then only lead forward.
Okay, let's go ahead and try this again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate, step with. Rotate, step with. Square up, and exit. 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and try some music. Show you how to come around down the left. So looking pretty good. This is not a master's class, so I don't expect you guys to be doing it perfectly just yet. I'll give you guys a couple weeks, but
Okay, one thing, I just realized some ladies have not done Ojo before. So remember, when you do Ojo, see after the cross, he rotate us. Remember to pivot. That's the key thing. If you don't pivot, it's very hard to do Ojo. So my chest, I move left. Remember my hip, I move twice as much. And I pivot my feet. And pivot and then bring and move my hip. See, so keep that in mind for those who haven't done Ojo before. So
leaders, one thing that you want to be aware of, make sure when you're leading these ochos is before you take your step, make sure your follower is facing the direction that you want her to step in. So I see some guys, what they're doing is this. You're here, this is fine, this is all fine, this is fine, this is fine. But now, you're rotating her, you're kind of getting your leg out there already. This is too early. I want to point her in that direction first, then as she's stepping, I want to step with her. So I kind of wait until the last moment. But again, because I'm using the flexion, remember about the alignment, my body is here, I'm very stable. So when she's stepping, I can kind of get my leg out there as she's going and accompany her through the step. Okay? I keep on seeing these red dots all over Chooi, it's like snipers. Okay. Here, and I go with her, and I go. Why do I go with her instead of leading her to go with me? There's a really good reason. What's that? Oh,
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman, exactly. And that's what it amounts to. But technically speaking, the reason why is because it's easier for me to track her step than it is for her to track my step. I can kind of feel, and based off of where I feel her going, I just go with her to wherever that is. Because some followers aren't going to follow what I think I'm leading. So I might think I'm leading a nice step like this, but if she steps shallow and I'm all the way over here, now I have this problem. So the idea is if she steps shallow and I didn't lead her, I'm thinking I'm leading her over here, it gives me the opportunity to adjust, work with her. If she doesn't follow what I led, then I lead what she follows. Okay?
Well, what happens if you get like a stalemate?
Well, then you have, remember, we have to project. We have to project the step first. So the idea here is, if you're in a stalemate, encourage her to move by giving her a little bit of that flexion in the knee.
A little bit of English?
And yeah, exactly. A little bit of English on it. That's a good way to put it, because that's pretty much what we're doing. And then we'll wait for her to start moving, and then we'll follow up with our own step. But don't pull her with you into your step. Okay?
See, and follow her. We are not moving ahead of the man without the lead. So we still follow the lead. Except sometimes you don't see because he just used projection. And now you see, I will just stay still until I feel that lead. Then he actually allowed me to go first. He lead me, then he allowed me to go first and step together.
And we go. Okay? So let's go ahead now. Leaders rotate down line dance. Vamos. Try to put the inside in. Okay, good. Now, we're going to go on ahead and do one last part. So we have all of what we're doing here. We have the cross, the forward ocho. Now we want to be able to do something that's also going to allow us a lot more development from later when it comes time for things like embellishments of the follower and stuff like that. We're going to do the most basic form, which is okay? So what this step is called is a parada. And a parada comes from the verb parar. Does anybody know what that means? Stop. All right. So what I'm doing is effectively using my foot to stop Chooi from moving any further. This step, you have to be careful because if you don't place it correctly, it won't become a stop. It'll just become a trip. We don't want her to trip over our foot. We want her to stop at our foot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do exactly what we've been doing. Go from 1 to 5 into the forward ocho. I'm going to pause for a second. Now, key number 1 here is that when I'm leading her to step around me, I'm not going to step with her. So that means that I want to lead her to step kind of close to me. I don't want her to go, if I lead her to go all the way out there, this is going to be a problem. I want her to come in towards me so that when I put my foot next to hers, it will be comfortable. I'm not reaching to make contact. I want it to be as simple as possible for myself so that when she makes contact, then she can step around, put her over. I'll bring my feet back together, and then I'll just exit like we have it. Okay?